Milsurp Garage. Alrighty, so somebody messaged me and asked about magazine disassembly. Mbaconjr with his Colt vest pocket. Boom, there's mine. So there is a procedure for takedown of these magazines, and I thought it would make a cool video. He asked that. I was like, that is true. There's listen, here's the baby Browning, right? Magazine, similar. And look, it's not just Browning stuff here. Here's the Pedersen Model 51, Remington Model 51. There's these holes here. Here's, of course, the another Colt. Here's FN. Same looking magazine. All right, Walther. Same looking magazine. Go all over the place, you're going to see the same thing. The Bayard. Here's the Bayard. A little Bayard. Oh, that's right. It has a finger group. Look. Holes. You all have holes like that. You could say they're sight holes just so you could take it out to look to see how many rounds are in the magazine. I'm not so sure. I think it might have to do with disassembly. And here's the story. Mbaconjr. Follow along. Now, wood. You want to use wood. Got these shish kebab sticks, these wooden dowels. These things can't be expensive to buy and play. I mean, come on. They're like pennies, these things. Try like a craft store. Get these things because any type of pushing, prodding, shoving, poking with screwdrivers and metal instruments is only going to put gouges, scratches. Forget about it. It's going to be a terrible thing. Let me grab a seat here. So the idea with these is that even though they seem like they could be disassemblable just with your hands, but not quite the case. You actually need to, this is what the fat dowel is for, is to depress the follower. And you always want to depress it kind of like towards the back, not towards this front part that's higher, but in the back. Back here it'll have like it's like an L shape, and there's a piece along the back here. So if you push here, it'll go down nice and straight. And then you want to use this to not catch the follower, but just block the spring. Right about there. And, go all the way through. Now, your follower is just going to be floppy in there. It's going to come right out. All right? So, my advice for cleaning these guys, too, is you should blast them out with gun scrubber. And then any residual stuff you could just wipe down. But the insides of them here, too, even this spring, so then once you get that in, that's why a nice fat dowel is good for this side, because you don't want to damage the spring. But you could hold the spring down like this, and then come out of there nice and gentle. And you want to keep everything orientated properly. So you can put it out like that. This one looks like it's a little on the twisted side. But you could take a picture just so that you can make sure, this was like this, of course. You just want to make sure you have everything orientated properly when you put it back in. And then, spray these out. Here, I'll give a little. This one looks like it could do with a little cleaning, so that's perfect. But I didn't have anything prepared. So, sorry about that. Here's what I'm going to do for that. I'm going to take this. I'm going to feed this through here. I'll give this a little squirt. And then, this is how we're going to do this. And this thing, this is clean, but look, it's dirt already, dirt just from, true that Mbaconjr is concerned with making sure the magazine is clean is definitely a good idea. Make sure the spring is oiled up and clean. There we go. I don't want to go too crazy on you guys. Get annoyed because this is really just supposed to be a disassembly, reassembly video. Now, that was orientated this way. So we want to be careful with the spring. Make sure we get it back in there again. Now, does this look like it's orientated right? If this is on like that, yes it does. That way, it certainly does. So now what we do is we just do it backwards. Get this in here where you're not bending this spring. A nice spot where you got everything compressed. And we could go right through over here. Take the follower. Slip the follower on top. Now, don't just pull this out and let this slap upwards, because there's a chance that the spring does not catch on it properly, or that it just shoots it right out of the top of the magazine. You want to do everything nice, slow, and controlled like that. And then test it out. There we go. We are rocking and rolling there. Let's do a little function check. Couple of 25 cal snap caps here. These are inert rounds. Exactly what these things are for. Make sure the magazine is loading. Whoop. Sorry about that, guys. Make sure that the rounds are not tilting sideways in there. And there we go. We have a disassembled and cleaned magazine. So that is the story, Mbaconjr. That's how to clean these magazines. And you know what? Here, I take out a even a larger one. But even a larger one like this, same procedure. I mean, it's just larger, but we're depressing. And again, press it down here towards the back, in here, let it up. See, and you're just taking the pressure off of the follower, because you'll never be able to get it out of here as long as it's shoved up against the top of the magazine. And again, just use wood, trust me. And that's the story. Listen, one more thing I just wanted to point out to you guys that I thought was interesting here. Let me okay, so my last video on the Dryza, right, was demonetized, and they gave me some feedback here. I want to read this to you. Hold on. Got the wrong glasses on. All right, this is what they told me. This is why it was demonetized. It was demonetized because it contains content that shows gun creation, no it does not, or modification, no it does not, promotes gun makers. Well, I don't know, I'm doing a little show and tell on the gun. Does that mean I'm promoting a 1907 Dryza, where that company is like, has like dries it up like 40 years ago? 40, probably more like 100 years ago. Promotes gun makers. No, I wouldn't say that that's what's going on. Or sellers, or facilitates the sale of a gun, which I'm not. I'm just showing it to you. Minors using guns without adult supervision. That was not going on either. So, according to them, one of those things was going on, and that's not going on in any of my videos. So, don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, we'll see what they do with this one. I'm sure they'll say that this me showing you how to take a magazine apart has to do with modification, I'm sure. Anyway, you all are the best. A video under 10 minutes. This is unusual for me. But Mbaconjr, that's how to take your magazines apart. See you all next time.
Be a